Welcome to week 1 of your Yoga and the Moon course. I'm so honoured and so delighted to have you here. This was an idea and something I've wanted to share for a while. We had a Lunar Day retreat booked that I know some of you were booked into. So this has become that in much more depth. And yeah, I'm really excited for the next 4 weeks and to explore this with you. My intention is for it to be very much an educational journey as well as a nice experience, so that you can, going forwards, continue to work with the moon phases, continue to adapt it to you, use the resources. So today we are talking a lot about the new moon. I mean, ideally we would have done this practice on Thursday, but I know many of us work and this bank holiday weekend gave us some space for it. But the energy of each moon phase can be felt either side. So we're still just relevant for the new moon. I want you to keep this work and draw it forwards in future moon cycles. So what I'm offering you over these 4 weeks is something really personal, something very much from my heart and from my energy. There has already been so much beautiful writing, works, books, resources all over the internet about how to work with the moon. There's such fabulous information out there, but I wanted to share with you something different, and it's all incredibly personal from how I felt I work with the energy of the moon and combining that with my yoga practice. So some of it might seem different to what you've read. I know some of you have read the Moonology book, which goes a lot into astrology, which actually I'm not that knowledgeable on. But this is just, a real personal journey that I wanted to share with you. One of the things I most consistently get asked by people is, how do I have so much energy and how do I get so much done? My short answer to that is I don't have kids. But the longer answer to that is I really carefully work out when I am doing what and do it with the appropriate moon phase, so that I am working with my energy rather than draining my energy. Really silly example. Those of you that have already been practicing with me might have noticed that this is a different room to normal. So I have been practicing in the bedroom. And that it was okay, it was a short-term fix, but it wasn't right. And then as I came through the last few days of the new moon, really that reflection of what was working well in my life at the moment and what was not working well in my life at the moment. And what wasn't working well was that split between work-life balance, and that was showing up in my sleep. I was going to bed and dreaming about teaching yoga and waking up and planning yoga classes all still in the bed. But that sort of was niggling me in the month, but it's not until that dark time of the new moon that I really started to reflect on that. And then we used the energy yesterday, the first day after the new moon, to embrace the newness, to move into a different room, to clear it out. We've packed up all the furniture, we've redecorated. I think it took us from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. But that wasn't draining, because it was the right day to do it with the energy, with that waxing moon, really. Whereas if I'd done it kind of a week ago, it would have felt heavy and draining and the wrong time and not had that excitement. So it's a silly example, but just ways that you can shift when you do what, so that the energy carries you, buoys you along. So as we sit now, a couple of days after the new moon, just starting to head into the waxing phase as well, which peaks next weekend, we're sitting on a cusp. It's this cusp of action and inaction. It's this portal, this pause, and it's a really potent energy time to hit pause. Now, some of us are more prone to taking action, some of us are more prone to less action. And that's when you look at this phase, you think, right, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to race ahead and get started in new products, new projects. I'm going to rest. I'm going to percolate. I'm going to contemplate. And I'm going to hold the reins back and then allow the newness to start to come out in the next week or so. So you'll feel this in today's practice, and if you've already listened to the playlist that accompanies it, you'll feel that as well. There's this energy, this feeling of expansion, this feeling of wanting to get going. It's quite rousing, but it's also, no, not yet, not yet. Just be calm, rest a little longer, pause a little longer. So it's this balance of action and inaction. So in the class today, we've got moments of real stillness, of restorative, restful yoga. Then we've got moments where we'll come to stand and move a little more, rest. So again, depending on how time goes, Shavasana is not quite at the end. It's just before the end. And then we'll move a little. So we're playing with this ebb and flow of inaction and action and riding that cusp. So without further ado, we'll begin. If you're using the playlist, pressing play now. And finding a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like. You can sit cross-legged, kneeling, the legs straight. Just have the hands gently resting palm down on the legs. Allow the eyes to close. And you might notice in this online environment, at the beginning of a course, in the time of the new moon, an eagerness in your posture that shows up as a leaning forwards and a jutting chin. Try to lean back a little bit. Have your beautiful tall posture. Let it soften. Lean back. As if you can connect with the strength of your back body and let your front body rest there. Like you're leaning against your favorite armchair. Feeling held and supported. Let your chin drop down a little. Base of the skull rise up and back a bit. So there isn't this eagerness, this projecting forwards. Just pull back on those reins. Come back to you. Soften the posture. In the new moon phase, there's a darkness, less illumination, and a lull in our energy. And often we fight that. We think it's a good thing to be energized and a bad thing to be tired. They're just different phases, different energies, both have merit. So come with me into the heavy darkness and trust that we will come back out of it. And rubbing your hands together, building some warmth, some heat there. And cupping those hands over your eyes. Eyes closed. Notice the warmth of your hands. And let that soothe your soul. And notice that darkness there. It's comforting. Imagine that darkness like a warm velvet cape you can wrap around you. You can feel the comforting warmth, the drawing in. And trust me, I will bring you back out of this. But start to slump your posture. Let it get heavy. Round. Feel that really drawing inwards. that lowering of our energy. You might even have a sense of lethargy or tiredness. You might be through that now though. Just come into that ease, that drawing in, that heavy, low energy. There is nothing to be feared here. It is a part of the process. Draw in, let it be heavy, let it be low. Keeping the eyes closed, maybe try rubbing your face a little. Not even so much massaging it, just rubbing your face. You know that movement you do when you feel tired in your eyes. Let it be soothing. Let it be welcoming, calming, dropping the energy. When our energy is too high, it's harder to tune in, to connect. We have too much action. So in this time of the new moon, we want to be okay in that lower energy, knowing it guides the higher energy periods to come. And allowing yourself just to hold your head, bring the hands to the back of your head. Chin down, settling, down regulating your energy. Feel the breath, gentle. It's not going to be deep with this slumped posture. And keeping that slump, let the hands drop down to your knees, palms down. And feel the base of you, your sitting bones, connected to the earth. Eyes closed, move so slowly. Begin to rise up. Begin to sit tall. You might feel a forwards and up action, a little bit like cat-cow. Take it slow. There's no rush. Rushing is such an addiction in our world. Rise up slow. But we're on this cusp, we're on this ebb and flow. Draw back down. Rounding. Drawing in on yourself. You can take your chin to chest, feel the breadth across your back. And matching this with the breath, inhale to rise up, but let it be as slow as your slowest breath. Exhale to round down. Moving with your breath. Feeling in. So much potential to be found in slowing down. It can feel familiar, it can feel unfamiliar. It can feel frustrating, it can feel welcome. And it is what it is. And next time you wavelength, stay there, pause there. And sigh out your breath. Draw a deep inhale, feel that rise, that lift your heart. Sigh out the breath, every drop. There'd be a little rhythm in the sigh, like you sigh out 3 times. Go into those sighs. I'm going to ask you to take 5 more, that's a lot. Release with the sigh. Release the busyness. Come into this period of rest. Feel that ripple through the spine as you breathe. Releasing, letting go. 2 more. In a safe space to feel. The moon energy carries our emotions, the feminine, the fluid, the felt. Sigh it out, connect with the feelings. Inhale, waving length, can start a little movement, circling your body around. I urge you not to look unless you really have to, but instead to feel. Connecting with that moon energy means connecting with your felt self. There is no right or wrong, good or bad. Feel. As you circle around, connect with different parts of your body. Your neck, shoulders, heart space, waist and hips. Connect with your body. Circling in the other direction. Feeling in and around, unwinding yourself. Whenever you're working with moon-inspired movement, it's connected to the water element, to fluidity. Allow the body to flow. That feminine softness to it. Once more around. Pausing back at center. Inhale, wavelength. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Release your right hand down. Gaze at it, gaze at a part of you. Inhale, reach the arm up. And exhale as it comes over into a side bend and release the left fingertips to the floor. But then soften. All this moon work is going to ask you to soften. Then as you soften, notice the breath. Inhale as a pulsing up. Exhale, a releasing down. Close your eyes. Just as everything I'm offering you on this course has come from within me, let your movement, your experience come from within you. And when your movement comes from you, you are connected. That universal energy that moves you, moves through you. One more breath. Sigh it out. And bringing that right hand to your heart. Upright yourself as the left hand lifts. Drop the left hand down, gaze at it, gaze at the beauty of your hand. Reach up and over. Release the right hand down to the earth, connect, plug in. Soften, soften. And as you soften, feel. Breathe. Play. Connect. One more breath. Release that left hand down into your heart. Your right hand on top. Then plug both fingers down into the earth. Connect, then inhale, wave length through the spine. Exhale, flow forwards. Don't worry about how deep. This has got nothing to do with flexibility. Inhale, ripple up. You getting to know you. Exhale, ripple forwards. Close the eyes. Feel, move, breathe. into upright. Again, not too eager forwards, drawing home. Hands to the heart. Feel the lift in the heart, but let it come back into you. The front of your body is leaning against the back of your body. Feel the breath. Moving on, fingers down. You're going to take that right leg, many of you know this pose, and swish it back behind you. Left foot's at the inside of the thigh. You can modify anything, anytime. Right hand holding the right hip, other hand down. Close your eyes. Sink down into your pelvis. Holding your hip, connect with your hip. Your Svadhisthana chakra, your sacral chakra, in the hips. So got the moon vibe going on. It's the water element, it's creativity, it's the femininity within us all. And start to feel the breath in your hip. And if you're patient with yourself, you'll notice you start to move. If you breathe in and down to your pelvis, if you connect to this part of the body, your pelvis is going to start to move. Different for all of us. It's the water element here, the fluidity, it wants to move. It wants to release. Now, if your pelvis is showing you how to move, follow it. If you need a little bit more instruction to connect, as you inhale, you're going to rock forwards. Exhale, rock back. That's just a guidance. Let your body show you the moves. Maybe the shoulders start a figure of eight, sway, ripply thing. Maybe the movement gets bigger. Maybe you're leaning into it. But maybe it actually gets subtler, smaller. The new moon is time of intuition, of inner wisdom. That means we have to slow down to let the inner teacher emerge. If you like, I'm going to offer you to get this a little bigger. And take that right hand, inhale, swoop it up, lift up onto the knees, lift the hips. Exhale, drop it back down. Let the arm be graceful. Inhale. Exhale. Everyone has a beauty, a grace. It's different in all of us. You find it by connecting, allowing. Once more. We're going to take a bit of a big shift into our next shape. You're going to inhale, lift up. You might need to come in differently and extend that right leg out to the side. So however you get there, you have your right leg out, kneeling on your left. Right hand down, left hand connects. Inhale, drop the left hand, gaze down at the hand. Reach it up and over. Now, inhale. Let it be easy, let it be soft. Exhale. 3 more. Close the eyes or gaze downwards. Feel a softness. That's what today is about. Finding the moon energy in our movement. Last time. Inhale, lift up. You're going to bring the hands down, hands to the floor. Hands under the shoulders, foot still out to the side. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Then exhale, start to rock your weight back as if you're going to sit back into your heels. Careful with the depth with your knees though. Inhale, rock forwards. Exhale, gently back, opening into the hips. Inhale forwards. Last time, exhale back. Just linger where you got to. Take a breath. Sigh it out. And anywhere your body gets there, you're going to bring yourself back to seated on the bottom. I'm just going to switch this to the other side. So bring that right leg in, left leg out. Close the eyes. Left hand on the hip, hand on the floor. Now reconnect with this side of the body. We have a masculine side and a feminine side. The left side's the masculine, the feminine, sorry. The right side, the masculine. The sides do not have to move the same. Breathe down into the pelvis. Eyes closed or gaze down. Breathe into the pelvis. And in response to your breath, let it start to move. Don't force movement. Let it be your body's response to the prana, the energy. A soft smile on the face. Beautiful simplicity of breath and movement. And how does this movement wish to transform? Maybe it gets bigger. Maybe it gets smaller. Maybe the rest of the body starts to sway or wiggle. Maybe the head, the shoulders, the neck moves. Some glorious sea creature, undulating, rippling. If you want, you can start a little lean forwards and back in it. Maybe you find it wants to get bigger and the hand lift up. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, that left arm swoops up. You push the hips up. The breath initiates the movement like the wind under a sail. It lifts you as you inhale. Releases you. 3 more breaths. We're going to transition into that. It's called gate pose. You can do it any way you like. With enough momentum, you can get up from the pose into it. Takes a bit of momentum though. Any way you can, left leg straight. Right hand on the heart. Always reminding us to connect. Release that hand down. Look at it. Please see the beauty in your own hand. Reach that arm up and over. Inhale up and over. Soften. Breathe. Flow. 3 more breaths. However your body moves, release the hands down. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale, rock your weight back. Careful with that depth, just watch the knee. Inhale up. Exhale back. 3 more. Next time you get down, settle, press pause. Well, and where do you feel? Coming up onto all fours, tuck that other leg in. Hands under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale to round, chin to chest. Close the eyes or gaze at the earth. Move with your breath. The undulation of your spine. Slowing down. Renewing through movement and breath. Connecting with flow. Once more. And for teeny tiniest moment, you're going to come into child's pose. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. We'll do a juicy long child's pose in a bit. Exhale, sit the hips back to the heels. Then inhale, come up to all fours, round the back. Exhale, releasing forwards, lowering your hips, belly, chest to the ground. It doesn't matter how. Feel. I'm going to reverse that. Shrug out through the shoulders. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chin to chest and round. This takes every part of your body through something. Close the eyes. Continue so slowly. You feel every body part. Checking in. Feel the breath. Really slow. Tune in. Feel. Connect. That inner wisdom, that inner intuition can only be heard when it knows you're listening. Feel. Listen to the body. And take this once more. Meeting back on the knees. Stay tuned in. Stay eyes down or tuned in. So we've used fluid, watery movements, opening the hips to prepare us for stillness. Then we'll move, then we'll be still. So your first part, stillness. Grab your 2 bed pillows or 1 or whatever you've got or nothing. Have them stacked portrait in front of you. Those of you that own an eye mask, have it. Just have it on your thigh. I'll tell you what to do with it in a moment. But don't worry if you don't have one. So we're going to come in simply into supported child's pose. Such a new moon posture. Feet together, knees wide. Depending on your height, bring the pillows in between your legs a bit. What's most important, as I fold forwards, my head is resting. Okay. Then if you have an eye mask, once you settle, oh my God, this is just amazing, drape it over your neck. Okay? Only if you happen to own an eye mask. So coming into supported child's pose. If you need a pillow or anything between your heels and your bottom, do go there. And fidget. If this pose isn't for you, just come out to seated stillness. Or lie on your back. Now fidget a little. How could you settle yourself here? Do you want to have your head turned to one side or buried straight down in the pillow? And in this pose, you are totally drawing inwards. Totally coming home. Imagining that black velvet coat wrapping around you. Draw into this dark, still pause. And see how this shape is reminiscent of a little seed. And this new moon time is about planting our seeds. You know when you plant a seed, you bury it in the dark, warm earth, and it stays there dark, still, appearing lifeless, until a few days, weeks later, as if out of nowhere a little shoot comes up through the soil. You nurture, nourish that. This is where we are. Planting the seed, trusting, and you don't immediately yield results. Feel the breath. Breathe into your lower back. Settle yourself. It's okay to be inactive here. See if you could release your weight even more fully and completely down onto those pillows. Trusting in the rest. And take around 5 more breaths. See if you could sink any more fully and completely. So often we don't give time for the slow growth. We expect immediate results. Bring your hands under your shoulders, don't rush. Be okay with the slow. Slowly press yourself up. Slowly. Walk the hands in, slowly. Hands rest on the thigh. No rush. It's often a part of us. What's the next pose? This is nothing. I'm waiting. That is this time. The waiting between non-action and action. The linger. pillows from portrait to landscape. Many of you have done the next couple of poses before with me. I'm currently obsessed with them. So you're going to come over your pillows on your tummy. So those pillows are in your hip creases. And then this is called crocodile pose. I don't know what it did to justify its name, but spread the elbows out and rest your head down. You might notice some sensation in that lower back to begin with. I do, it takes a moment to settle. If you've got any sensation that you don't want in your lower back, just give the hips a little sway from side to side. Just invite it to release. And once you feel the back settle, drop into stillness. Resting your head either on your hands or straight on the floor. Fully and completely drop the weight of your body down. Let the back broaden. And breathe into your lower back. Now, as we take this month-long journey, I'd love you to really connect with the power of your sacrum in your pelvis. First of all, feel the rise and fall of the breath in your belly. And shift that feeling to the lower back. You feel the rise and fall of your breath in your lower back. And see if you could sense it just a little lower. The back of the pelvis, this triangular bone of your sacrum. And the pelvis really is where that moon energy resides. Svadhisthana chakra, the creative, fluid wateriness. And it's also where our energy, our Kundalini Shakti is. Breathe into your sacrum. Imagine you can feel the awareness of your breath there. Like a tingling. Someone's just put refreshers in there or a Barocca. Tingling. And you're going to allow that energy to wave up the spine. So as you inhale, breathe in and down to your pelvis. And as you exhale, feel a tingling fizz go up your back from your pelvis. Inhale down deeply. Exhale, feel that breath wave up through your body. And some of you might stay beautifully still, that subtle felt sense. You might actually find a little ripply movement through the hips, through the lower back. Let that come from you. But if the body's still, that's where it's meant to be. Taking 3 more breaths. Connecting with the sacrum. We're going to explore this a little more. Coming up into Sphinx pose. Elbows up under your shoulders. Soften the hips into the floor and gaze down. Chin down, let it round, let it slump a moment like where we began. Then with an inhale, feel a wave and a lift of your chest, look forwards. try and lift your chest a little higher off the floor. Forwards. Exhale, soften and sink down. Now start to use those arms. Inhale, press the ground away to the left, draw up. Exhale, soften and release. That's enough of a template for you to explore with. The ripple up, the rising energy. Maybe sigh out the releasing energy. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Think about if you're a bonus. And ride with the energy. Hands draw back. Inhale, a big lift up. Lift the chest up, a little cobra-like. Exhale, press the ground away. Come back as if a child's pose, but not quite. Bring your hands in. Sit up tall. Discard those pillows out of your way. Hands down. Tuck the toes, rock the heels, hips up, fold down over the legs. Bend the knees, hang down over your legs. So okay to bend those knees. Let it be easy. Feel the breath. You're working with the moon energy. There's no force, there's no agenda. Let it be easy. So we moved our energy, then we rested. Now we're going to move again, playing with this cusp that we're in. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise, reaching the arms from the side. Reach the arms out to the side and up. Exhale the arms back out to the side and down. Now if you know me well, I have a thing for wings. Bend your knees. These aren't arms, they're wings. Inhale your wings up. And they're big, glorious wings. Exhale the wings down. Now lift your gaze. Look out at eye level or higher. Inhale, soar up. Exhale, release down, whole body movement, bend the knee. Inhale, rising, opening, expanding. Exhale, softening, soothing, releasing. A few more times. Imagine yourself a great, magnificent bird. Feel that expansiveness, that potential. Last time. Exhale those wings down. Bringing your elbows at the side of your waist, have your palms softly facing up. An openness, a breath in your chest. Eyes open or closed. And just stand a moment. If you feel a lot of eagerness in the posture, just soften it. Be patient. If you feel a heaviness in the posture and inactivity, broaden the heart. Trying to find that balance between action and inaction. I'm going to give you a little movement meditation here. It's about energy in phases. So the lunar, the moon phases are about shifts in energy. From a dormant, low energy to a rising energy of action to a celebratory, expansive peak through a releasing, yielding and letting go. And a great way to visualize that is to think of waves in the ocean. So as we stand here in a meditation, transport yourself. You are standing at the ocean. You're watching the waves. And as you watch the waves, you notice they're not all the same size. Some of the waves are big. Some of the waves are tiny. And you never quite know which is going to be which. Watch the waves. Lapping ones, the massive ones that would bowl you over. And you start to play with that. Bring your hands to face palm down. Bring them a little bit in front of you. Bend the knees, soften it. Lower the hands down a bit. Then inhale, let the hands rise a bit. Wrist lead, fingers follow. Exhale down a bit. Let the rest of the body copy that. Inhale, straightening up a bit. Exhale down a bit. And let's just take this as a small wave. A small, middling wave. It's moving with the breath. The inhale lifts. And exhale lowers. Let's find our medium wave. Take the hands behind you. Press through the feet. Inhale, the waves come up a little higher. Exhale, they release back. The further they come in, the further they pull back. Inhale up. So we know the moon controls the tides. Play with this energy. Inhale, it's building. And the waves are getting bigger. The energy's rising. Let's go bigger still. Inhale up. As you come down, exhale, fold down, reach the hands back behind you. Then feel the wave. Inhale, lift you up. Exhale a little down. A small wave again. Inhale a little up. Gentle lapping. How small can that lapping be? Barely any shift, any change. Then you're feeling it build again. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. You've got a feeling something's going to happen. Hands behind you. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Bend the knees. Inhale, swoop up. Let's add that forward fold. Exhale down. Inhale up. It's still building. You can feel that energy building all the way down. Inhale up. The pull's getting stronger. This is that big one. Inhale, come all the way up. Release the arms over your head, back behind you. They come through and up. The calm. Okay. And now you've explored all the different waves. Let's feel one more big wave together. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold back. So this is that biggest wave. Inhale, come all the way through, up, over your head. Exhale it back down. Now explore this on your own. Let it come from within. Big waves, middle waves, lapping waves. Close your eyes or gaze down. This is not a dance to perform. This is not an external exercise. Feel energy shift within you. Feel the build, the slow, the release. Play with energy. Just giving you a template. You can move in any way. I'm not going to look at the screen. I'm not watching you. be in your own dance, your own experience of energy. The tides, the moon, the waves, they're all a part of you. Just as much as you are a part of them. The same energy of the universe is the energy that made you. You just got to reconnect to it. Feel the ripples through the body. And maybe it becomes less about the movement of your arms, but maybe the body becomes the wave. You let it move through the spine, maybe not. Feel the movement of the pelvis, the sacrum, the river within us, the ocean within us, the moon within us. Taking about 5 more breaths. Play. Release, unleash the body. Taking your last breath to make it more subtle. Bring it back home. Never quite be still. Always have energy moving within. Heading towards the top of your mat. Stay connected. Inhale, let the arms float all the way up. Exhale, that wave folds you all the way down. Hands on the shin, the wave lifts you up into that half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs, the waves drop you down. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, arms reach up. Exhale, arms flow down. Adding on, I just want you to keep that wave. Inhale, the wave lifts up. Exhale, the wave folds down. Hands to shin, inhale, the wave draws up. Exhale, as you wave down, take your right leg back. Lower the right knee down to the floor, hands on the floor. Take a moment here like you're a surfer waiting for the wave. Then inhale, the arms lift you forwards and up. And unusually today, sink into those hips. Find the breath. Exhale, draw the hands down either side of the front leg and straightening off the leg, lift the toes. Doesn't matter if it doesn't actually straighten. Reconnect. Inhale, waving length. Exhale as you fold. Couple more breaths. One more moment, one more breath. Inhale, shift forwards. Exhale, step back to your knees, down facing dog, whatever you need. But we'll meet back in child's pose. And feeling again the pause. We played with the energy rising. The energies come back down. Inhale, rounding up onto all fours. Then you're going to come forwards onto the belly into what's called a prostration. You reach your arms out, palms together. And then you drop your head through your arms, maybe resting your forehead on the floor. If that's uncomfortable, if your nose is pushing into the floor, put a pillow under your forehead. Be here a few breaths, not too long, but a few breaths. Release the weight of your body fully and completely down. Be totally at rest here. A prostration is an offering. Offering all of yourself to the stillness of this moment. Sliding the hands back under the shoulders. Inhale, roll the shoulders, rise up into cobra. Press back to child's pose. Inhale, up to all fours, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Slowly walking your feet and your hands towards one another. Bend the knees, drape the spine down over the legs. Bend the knees a little bit more, feel the energy in the feet. Hands by the side. Remember your waves. Inhale, press down through the feet, wave up. Reach the arms straight up. Exhale, let the hands cascade down to the side. Inhale, waving up. Exhale, arms just to the side, staying upright. Couple more breaths. Find the waves, the energy again. And today is really about exploring this ebb and flow of energy, movement and stillness, the space between action and inaction. I'm going to build this up. Inhale up. And exhale, fall down, linger there. Bend the knees, let it be easy. Hands to the shins, inhale, wave forwards. Sigh out as you exhale, fold. Press through the feet, inhale, waving all the way up. Exhale, arms by the side. Once more, inhale up. Exhale down. Hands to the shins, half lift, inhale. Exhale, left leg back. Knee down, wait for the energy. Inhale, ride the energy up. The exhale, you feel the surrender. Be with the breath. Exactly what we're cultivating when we live in tune with the moon. We're waiting for the right energy, moving in the right phase. Exhale, releasing down. Straightening the front leg a bit, hips lift. Inhale, waving length. You feel the energy shift as you exhale and fall. It's always there. The inhales, the yang, the masculine energy, the action, the doing. The exhale, the yield, the soft. in every breath. Inhale, lift the chest, bend the knee, shift forward. Exhale, swoop it back to your choice, dog or surrender into child's pose. Feel the energy settle, the ease. Inhale, fits in dog, pop the knees down. In child's pose, rise back up. No rush. Pause. Linger. And shifting the energy down as we play, coming back into a restorative pose. Grab both of your pillows. Again, it's one I'm using a lot at the moment. Having both pillows stacked, landscape in front of you. So side lying. It's nice for this, it reminds me of the slither of the new moon. Come and sit on whichever hip you can see the easiest. So I'm sat on my right hip. If you have a third pillow, you might want it, or we might take that second pillow off. We'll see. So let me show you this. If you've done it before, just crack on into your side line. Otherwise, this is level with the side of my waist and lying over it, reaching my bottom arm out. And this is where you might want to take one of these pillows or add another pillow and pop it on your arm, unless your head really effortlessly just drops down. You're resting your head on your own arm, or you've got a pillow in there. Top arms doing nothing. And contemplate this slight slither of an arc that you're in. And you can keep that top hand where it is, or you can reach it up and over your head to rest next to the other arm. If that's not comfortable, don't do it. Staying on the side of your belly in this slight arc, this tiny crescent of the new moon. Now rest again. And contemplate how your energy feels in this rest. Our energy fluctuates just as the moon phases do. And also, not every moon phase is the same. The seasons affect it. So coming towards the end of spring and into summer, it's a high energy time. But your seasons might be personally different. You might be feeling more tiredness at the moment, more fatigue. Don't judge. Simply notice, how are you feeling in this pose? Are you happy in the pause, the stillness? Or is there some part of you that wants to rush ahead, to be more active? Simply observing. It is what it is, we're not judging it. Just knowing. How do we need to moderate our energy? top arm back up and over. Good. Then you can prop your head up on your other hand. Head propped up on your other hand. And when you feel ready to swap sides, gently roll over and onto your other side. So you just need to roll over. I'm going to stay here with you on this same side so I can see you. You're rolling to your other hip. Fidget, take time to settle in. You can have your head resting on your bottom arm. Or maybe you want to slide a pillow in there. And don't rush in with that second arm. When it naturally feels ready to, reach that second arm up and over. If that feels nice. If it doesn't, don't do it. Feel the breath, top side body. Notice your energy. How does it feel? And it could feel different one side to the other, depending on whether you're stretching that masculine right side or releasing the feminine soft side, the left. Taking 5 more breaths. And preparing to come out, taking that top arm up and over. And we're actually going to push ourselves up to seated in a moment, so bring the hands in front of you and you just press yourself up from this side lying position. Once you get up to seated, make any adjustments to be comfortable. So you might also want to slide one of those pillows under your bottom. So you can do a little bit of pranayama. We'll do more pranayama across the course. We're going to take Chandrabadana, the lunar breath. I'm just going to come in closer to show it to you. So with your right hand, bring your thumb and your ring finger together. Bring that to the top of the nostrils, the top of the nose, sorry. Other 2 fingers on the forehead. Slide that down till you're gently closing your nostrils. Releasing your left nostril, the 4th finger. Inhale through the left nostril. Release the thumb and exhale through both nostrils. Thumb back down, inhale left. Exhale both. Continue in your own rhythm. Inhaling left and exhaling both. This is Chandrabadana, the moon piercing breath. So as you do this, picture that new moon. Got a couple of days of growth on it now. Beautiful slither in the sky tonight. And simply setting the intention as you take Chandrabadana. I am connected to the moon. I am connected to the moon. And you are more than just connected to the moon. You are the moon and the moon is you. We are all particles of energy, vibrating, creating form and matter. The same energy that made the moon made you. The beauty you see in the moon is in you. And make that connection, that intention right now. I am connected to the moon. I am of the moon. One more round. Inhaling left. And exhaling both. Releasing the hand down. Take a pause. And flickering the eyes open. So I'm going to come into a restorative pose of Vipariti Karani, which is legs up the wall or legs over a chair. I really want you to remember this pose in this week. So it's a fabulous pose of rest. And whatever phase of the moon we're in, we all need pockets of rest every day. So you can do this pose for 5 minutes to 25 minutes anytime you feel you need to rest and reconnect. So, I'm just going to grab my chair, if you grab yours. So I take 2 pillows. One pillow is for my bottom and one pillow is for my head. If you don't need instruction, crack on. And if you have an eye mask or an eye covering, have that ready. And then you're going to sit side on to your chair or a wall. Okay, so you can sit side onto the wall as well. It's a bit stronger in the hamstrings. And once you're sitting side on to the chair or a wall space, you slowly make this awkward maneuver where you swing your legs over the chair or up the wall. You fidget until your upper body feels straight and not skew-whiffy. And then you lie your head down. Then have a good old fidget. The magic of this pose won't work if you're not comfortable. So fidget. Settle. You have an eye covering, placing that over the eyes now. Bringing the hands to rest, maybe on your tummy. If you can keep your elbows soft on the floor, sliding down a little lower to your hip bones, to your pelvis. Closing the eyes. settling in to rest. And again, just as we did in that other restorative pose, notice how you feel about resting right now. Does it feel welcome? Or does it feel challenging? Be okay with that. Getting to know where your energy is and how that's tying with the current moon energy. And right now we are sitting in this cusp. Some of you might feel more tired, others of you might feel fidgety. The energy in you wanting to get going, but you haven't made time for rest. So let's rest. We're going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to offer you a couple of choices here. Delightfully stay in Vipariti Karani longer. And you can stay in this pose for up to 25 minutes. But if you'd be more relaxed in a traditional Shavasana, get rid of the chair, slowly come off the wall. And with as little disruption to yourself as possible, lie out straight. Resting in any position. And as you take this time to rest, I wanted to share with you a short reading. Many of you might know this. It's The Invitation, written by a lady called Aurea Mountain Dreamer. She wrote it after coming home from a drinks party. It's a rant at the surface level at which we so often live. Instead of deepening, looking in. And she wrote, "It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you'll risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you've touched the center of your own sorrow, if you've been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers, to your toes, without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where, what, or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. This is a journey of depth, of tuning in, of asking your heart, what do you desire? I could not think of a more powerful time in which to do this work. Deepening your breath. If you're on the wall or on the chair, gently bend the knees, drawing them into the chest. If you're lying down, bend the knees, hug them in. And rolling over to one side, maybe the left if there's room. And pressing yourself up to seated. Eyes closed and palms down on the legs. It's a simple mudra of grounding, slowing down, connecting. Again, check that posture. If it has an eagerness, a present or a future energy. And then just draw it back in. So you're sitting tall, yet present in yourself. Not rushing ahead, but sitting in that place between inaction and action. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. We'll close our practice this afternoon with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This chant contains within it the energy of peace, of tranquility, the moon energy. I'll chant the first round, and then we'll join together for the second two. Close the eyes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Inhaling. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bowing to one another. Namaste. So thank you so much for your practice today. Thank you for joining me in this space and on this journey. So the intention today was to feel that lunar energy of the fluidity, the ease and the softness in the body, and to explore that place between action and inaction. In your email you have a meditation. Again, try and do this work, if possible, at the earlier part of this week when we're still just in that new moon phase. The new moon ritual, really powerful for where we are right now, and the chanting practice. If you've not done chanting before, do it now in the privacy of your own home. It's not about singing.